So this is a very weird topic for me, but recently I have started to explore my faith, and this is mostly because, like, for a large majority of my life, I've been part of like this religion, but I really like to call it a cult because of how oppressive it can be and how I feel like we glorify a man far too much and he benefits from it. So to keep it short, I am from I used to be from a religion called Iglesia Ni Cristo, and it was very, I would say, very unfulfilling religion on my part, and I have grown up in it for years. And from my experience, it was a very oppressive religion because, like, I've done a lot of membership there. Like, I've taken care of the kids there, I've gotten roles in the church, I've been, a leader of someone, and I have been a big part, not a big part, but I've been a part of teaching the kids there through the worship services. And to be honest, it was a very unfulfilling role. Um, it was always dictated that we are all just, you know, not good enough, which is still a thing in Christianity, I think, but there it was very emphasized that if we left the church, we would burn in hell. And it was far too much of a common theme for me to feel comfortable around it. And it felt weird how it was basically so oppressive and so secretive. Like, isn't the point of Christianity to um, be all inviting? If that is the case, then why do we have to hide our practices? Because they were scared to be judged, apparently. And that's not a good thing because Christianity or the belief in God and your belief and your religion should be spread out because if you believe it's true, why do you feel the need to hide it? So, I really think that this religion or this cult was such a horrible experience for me. Like, my family was a part of it, and my dad was incredibly adamant on me staying in that religion. I didn't because, like, um, it just wasn't for me, and it was far too oppressive. It was just too demanding. Like, every day, not every day, but like every week, we would go to church. And at least, like, when I had like a task there, like as like some sort of like guardian for the kids there and to handle church duties, I'd be there like all the time. Like, we'd have events, we'd practice music there. I don't know if this is common, but it was just weird. Like, you were forced to go to church, you're forced to give money, because if you didn't, and they would say you didn't have to, but the peer pressure was there. Like, when I was still going there to church, um, I was like forced to give money to the church, and I didn't have money because I'm not really like, I don't really have a job, and back then, and I didn't really like have any financial support because my family's a little broke, which is it's not a bad thing, but I'm just saying that we didn't really have a means of income, or I did have a means of like having um allowances, so it felt sad for me because like to them it was like so important, so important for to give money to the church and to provide for the ministers in that church. Like, the ministers generally just rely on your money as a member to um to raise their kids, to eat, to do things basically because apparently they're not allowed to have jobs based on my knowledge, and it was just horrible. And this is a bad religion in general. So yeah, there's more things I could talk about it, but um yeah, I just wanted to say that I left it like a few months ago now, and um I've been exploring my faith more, and I've never been like more happy of my decision because I feel a sense of freedom and less of a burden. And maybe the religion isn't for me. And to anyone who does like enjoy the religion and find hope in it, that's good. You should stay there. But um, for me personally, I didn't like how peer pressuring it was, how emphasized that if you leave the church, you're going to hell, and that you have to give offerings all the time. And when I heard my friends talk about how they can go to church like anytime they want and that they didn't have to go and they weren't forced to, I was like, wow, it's like very, very different as compared to my experience and how freeing that must feel and how less stressful it must be. And churches can be busy. Like it can be busy for them. Like even like the members there, like they can work in the church and be busy there. They can volunteer to help out. That's cool. But to be forced to against to be forced to is a different story. And I felt like I was forced to at some point. And the peer pressuring is there. Like it's horrible. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about my experience leaving and I'm trying to find faith again through hanging out with like my friends' religions and learning more about their own beliefs, and it's been very comforting in a sense. So yeah,